Hello, my friends. My name is Glenn, and welcome to my home and garden. Each month, I give you an update of my front yard and also my backyard garden. For today's video is a full backyard garden tour for the month of August of 2023. And I am so excited to show you all these beautiful blooms that are actively blooming at this season. And also, I added some new perennial plants. So let's start and check them out. Welcome to the upper side backyard garden. This white and pink blooms are the upright phlox, and I have also a fuchsia plant that's blooming. At this time, they have this red bloom, and the flowers, they look like an upside down bell. So towards to this row of the phlox, a lot of these are all the perennial plant. So they come back year after year, and I have also the pink on the side. And they can grow at least about 6 feet. And I have some other plants that actually done blooming as well. And here's again the center of my garden. If you are new to my channel, so this is the full backyard. This is the upper level of my backyard, and there's a three-way on how to get to different pathway. This first pathway over here is the shade garden area, and towards to that side on the very back is the rose garden, and here is the center garden that I have the secret garden next to it. And this pathway is the slope garden that you can actually go continuously to different paths. So again, on this side upper garden, I created a border of the upright phlox mix of the white and also the pink one. I actually added with the hydrangeas. It's a lace cap hydrangea, and I have some endless summer crush hydrangea that's planted in the pots. And here is the quick view, a close-up view of the lace cap hydrangea. This is all the collection of my endless summer hydrangeas that I added here and planted in the big pot and put it next to the lower patio. I am on the sitting area of the backyard garden, and this is the view. And also I have some collection of succulents also next to the water fountain on that side, and some more plants that I added on the upper backyard deck. This is the view that I'm showing you, and hope you can enjoy as well. And there you go, a lot of plants as well that I added on that gray and white pots, and they're all perennial. So here is the side garden, and also the white pergola is towards to the shade garden area, and I am going to show that to you next. So before we can go to the shade garden area, let me give you a quick look of how the view of the rose garden from the top, because I do have a 2 levels of the backyard. I have actually the lower level is on this side, and then I am walking to the upper level of the backyard. We add the retaining wall and added like about 4 feet tall of the retaining wall, and then this lower portion I add the rose garden. So all of this from here all the way to that white pergola, all the way to that flowers that you're looking at right now. There's a pink, that's actually the endless summer hydrangea, and then I have the bicolor roses. It's the hybrid roses, and also this China rose is a row from there till this side, and the rest is the double bloom red roses. Okay, so let's take a quick peek on the shade garden area, and this is the entrance. And the vine that I added on this pergola is actually the big bloom of the clematis, and this is the endless summer hydrangea that's almost done blooming. It's actually a pink one, then they're turning to green, and it means a sign that they are almost done. And I mirror that look, same thing here, and of course the lace cap hydrangea next to them. And I have a lot of pots that I added on this side, because this one I don't have any soil that I can plant. So I just purchased a lot of big pots that I actually added some zinnia and also some zucchini. They're just starting to bloom and I don't see any fruits yet. So here is the shade garden, and I have a row of my collection of the lace cap hydrangea that I actually propagate them. And this bush over here is the beauty bush. They are done blooming. They're actually done since beginning of June. So here I have the alum roots, and this path again, it is towards to the rose garden area, and this all a plant that I added in this side with different combination of plant and also of course the pink lace cap hydrangea. And this is the view of my center garden. I have this two bushes in here. They are the rhododendron. So I am going to show you this big vine over here. This is actually the trumpet vine, and there's a lot of hummingbirds visiting my garden because of this beautiful bloom. So I'm going to give you a close-up look on that later on. So let's continue the tour towards to the rose garden. And here's the path. This is actually a continuous path of all the access that you can go to different side of the backyard. So this path, I have this side garden over here, which is the rose garden, and I planted also a different plant. I have this cherry blossom in this side and also on this side of the pergola. So this big bush is actually the rhodie, and a lot of perennial plants that I added on this pot just to add some color. It's not just like a plain stone on here, so I added all this potted plants. So continuing to the rose garden. So this path is a continuous between all the paths that I mentioned to you a while ago. So here are the China rose. So this is actually the second time that they bloom. They actually bloom like about June, and then I deadhead them, and then this is the second time that they provide these beautiful blooms, and they are really beautiful. They are beige and white color, and some of them they're still in their flower buds. So with this white pergola, I added this wisteria. They don't bloom yet, so hopefully by next year they provide some pretty flowers. And here is the entrance of this pergola, and you'll see the different blooms, the vibrant color of the endless hydrangea. I added this orange double bloom roses as well, and some crocus mia. I actually add red and this color yellow, and all of this endless summer hydrangea that you are looking right now, this is part of my propagation. And then I do have this sunflower started from seeds, and the tallest that I seeing right now is like about 14 feet. And some of them, they have a single bloom like this, and then some like this big one, I can say like 3 flower buds. So what I'm going to show you next is actually the flowering cut garden, and also an update for you to see all the fruit trees that has fruit at this time. This is actually all the ice plant that I put it on this potted area. And here, actually, before we can go to the vegetable area, let me give you a quick look of this trumpet vine. So this trumpet vine is actually planted in the middle of the backyard, so they have enough space to grow their vines. And let's take a quick look of the blooms so you'll see on how beautiful they are. This trumpet vine is a centerpiece of my backyard garden. I added 2 more companion plants with this beautiful trumpet vine. I add the big blooms of the clematis and also the Korean spice perennial. So from this rose garden, I have the fruit trees on this side. I have the plum, peach, raspberries, and also underneath are the flowering plants. So towards to the vegetable area, and also after that, I'm going to show you the flowering garden and also the secret garden. And here is the entrance towards to the vegetable garden. I don't have a big vegetable garden, just to let you know. I only have this space and the rest are all for my flowering garden. This one is the fig tree, and this vine with this metal trellis is the grapes, and here I have the rhubarb and also sweet potato and this raised bed and also zucchinis, and on this pots over here I have actually all the potatoes, and here's the zucchini that are about to give some babies already, and this is a persimmon. I have tomatoes on this side. This is the squash. They have blooms and they actually have fruits there too. There. And then this side I have the banana tree, irises that I actually deadhead them. And then here is the tons of fruits of the marionberries, and they're about to be picked. Hopefully this one in 2 days. So red means they're not ready yet. And there's a lot of fruits actually. And then this side I have the kiwi trees. And of course the cherry, 2 trees of cherry. And then what I'm going to show you next is the flowering cut garden. So here is the flowering cut garden. This pink flower over here, this is actually the rose mallow. They're almost done blooming. I have this cactus dahlias. Crocosmias. And then that background blue blooms are the lace cap hydrangeas. Then towards to this side, there's a lot of plants that done blooming already, like the hardy geranium, the double bloom daylilies, Asiatic lilies, the oriental lilies, and also some daisies that I actually deadhead them yesterday. So these are the flowers that are actively blooming at this time, like these beautiful dahlias. And a few more on this side. And then the yellow bloom Rebecca. You can still see all these pink bells. I'm still waiting for some of the dahlias on this side. They start to having some flower buds. This is my side lower garden, and I show you the first video is my upper side garden. So now here is the lower side garden, and I have all these blooms of Rebecca and also the astilbe. They are done blooming. That needs to be deadhead. And then this one is the lavender, and I have an alternate of astilbe that's planted with the columbines all the way here towards to this tree of the lilac. And also I have some more plants in the pot that needs to be planted in the ground. And then here's the sitting area. This color is actually a color that inspired me from the lilac flowers. So I still have this climbing hybrid rose on this side. I actually have this color and also an orange one. And here is the pathway that you can go to the vegetable garden area on this side, and then towards to this side you can go to the rose garden area, the center garden. And let me give you just a quick glance on this side. is the rose garden all the way to the shade garden area. So this is my slope garden area, and I have all these upright roses, this endless summer hydrangeas, combinations of different ferns, and also this is towards to the secret garden. And then also, of course, you can access the center garden and where we started, where the lawn that you can see right now, that's the center garden. And here, I created this last year, the secret garden. And all the plants that I planted in here, they are growing so fast, including this oriental white lilies. And also, there's a vine of trumpet that just grew here. There's the lace cap hydrangeas that's still blooming, and majority of them they start dropping some petals. That's actually from these mini flowers. They have big petals outside, and then the inner part is the mini flowers, and they're still like new. This one hopefully is still for another week. And I added these primroses. All of these are done blooming, so they actually bloom around springtime. And actually, this bush here is the azalea, and I created like a border around this big bush of rhododendron. And then here's the different primroses, and I added this ice plant actually. And this one is the big bush of lace cap hydrangea, but they're also blue and white. And here's another view of this beautiful trumpet vines. So my garden at this month, a lot of them they're already almost done blooming. A lot of them are done blooming, and there's few more like this one that's still blooming at this time. And this is actually the purple bellflowers, the Abelia intense purple bellflowers. And I added also this flax on this side, a pink bloom of flax. The stick vine over here is a vine of the clematis, and underneath this I add the different color of bleeding heart. I have the white one and also the red one on this side. And I added this purple endless summer hydrangeas, and also here on this side I created them as a border to copy the look of this side, but unfortunately this side there's only a few blooms. So next, let's check the center garden, and that should be our last tour for August. And before I end this, I'm just going to give you a quick tour on that area, so you'll see and what's blooming on this side as well and what's not. So towards the center garden, I have a lot of plants that's still blooming, especially this one I add just like 2 weeks ago, and this is the blooms of the Luna hibiscus. I have this red, dark red actually, and there's a lot of still like flower buds that are about to bloom soon, and this pink and another red on this side. So I only have like 3 perennial plants of Luna that I added on this side of the garden. And the background I have the peace lily and also the summer hydrangea that I planted in the pot. So walking a little bit backwards in here, so you'll see the full view of the upper garden, and that is the trumpet vine. So this path is towards to the rose garden, and again this is the top garden. And of course our lawn is still surviving even though the weather is really hot. They actually can go until like almost 95 degrees, and We have to water them just to survive and keep them green like this. So what I'm going to show you next is a view that you can see the entire backyard. I'm going to take the video on the backyard garden deck. So you'll see on how the flowering cut garden, the secret garden, the vegetable garden, the fruit trees, rose garden, and the center garden look like on a full view. So from the backyard deck, this is the view of my garden. So this is all my fruit trees, vegetable area. This is the side garden. This is the flowering cut garden. This path again is towards to the rose garden. The slope garden is in this side. The secret garden here. You'll see that blue blooms of the lace-cap hydrangea. They are very stunning. And the orange bloom of the trumpet vines. And from here, this is the view of the upper garden. Okay, my friends, so I hope you enjoy our backyard garden tour for August of 2023. If you don't subscribe to my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button. And also, please hit your notification bell so you will be updated to all my new videos. I'll see you in my next video. You take care.